This conference will now be recorded.
So yesterday where we left, we created a provider order and corresponding configurations, right? And from there we generated a contract using a sequence of steps that we have done yesterday, right?
Right.
Now we saw that there is a contract created, right? Let's go and see the contract. Yesterday this was the order that was created. Let's see.
Karthik sir, one question I had.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
A basic question. Now, whatever partner functions and text determination procedures that I will use, basic partner determination procedure, text determination procedure, etc., for
Uh,
SD, the same I will have to use also. Will you same will be applicable over here as well, right? Or do I have to
no, no,
separately create for create?
how to, I mean, concept is same because it's order
Huh.
mechanism, right? So the order,
Correct, sir.
they're regular orders, okay, but now the concepts are same, but the way we do in uh, is a bit different. I mean,
In
the nodes that we use are different, but the concept is same.
okay, okay, okay. My pricing procedure, everything is the same thing what we use in SD.
Yes, 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 pricing procedure is same. So that's where we went
Right.
into this thing, right? Where did we go yesterday?
Our
We went into
SPRO node
sales.
we went to, right?
Yeah, SPRO node only, but in sales and distribution only we have done that,
Sales.
right?
Correct, correct.
Let's create a new one. So I hope you are now habituated to how to create a order and what are the different things, right?
Yeah, yeah.
What are
Yes,
the
sir. You are showing that is clear.
so JS14 is our GS14 is our transaction type. Let's use the same BP. Let me create a new. I'm creating a new contract. Let me use the same BP. So this is our BP. Enter. Right now the amounts are 0 and use the product. So 500 is something we have defined yesterday, $500, and it is of 12 months duration. And the contract account also we created yesterday, right? With
Correct, correct.
little bit of configuration from the contract account side. Okay, so let's submit. So as soon as you submit, there is a contract number that gets generated. Right, a contract number is generated. Let's go and open this contract number. So on the contract that is created as part of our subscription order, upon submit it got created, right? Let's see if you go into the contract history, this is our order number, right, from which we created this contract. And there are few other things that we need to make a look at it. The main important thing is this is technically active, yes or no, on the subscription contract that we created. It says right now it is saying technically active, no, right?
Okay.
What does that mean? This contract is created in SOM, but what is our process to do invoicing for this customer, for the order that was created for the customer to do the invoicing? What are the things required? There is a This is on the CI side, right?
Line.
Everything we do it on the
Yes.
CI side, right? So the data must flow into CI. Right now, the data is there in the SOM side of it, right? This is on the CI side. Let's say these are all comes under CI, right? The things that we do from master agreement, this is on the SOM side. So until this part, it is SOM. So we have the data in SOM, and also there is one more flow is also there, right? For CC also there is a one more flow, right? What is the CC flow? Do you remember the CC flow? So for CC, what happens? the data goes into CC. Here we have something called charge plan. This is on the higher level. Okay, so let's assume that there is a charge plan in CC. From charge plan, there is a bill of lading gets created. Let's say instead of that, let's write this one: waiting slash charge in CC. We do in CC. From there again, the data goes to CI, and it is same from this point onwards. Right. So there are two different flows that we are dealing with in the BRIM. Okay, this is optional. I mean, always, as we discussed in the first class, few of the things are optional. We can directly go into CA or we can directly go into CC. But in a regular flow, standard flow, if you're using all the three scenarios of different charges, what are the different charges? One time. This is for this flow is for what? One time slash recurring. We are using the first flow, right? For the
Yes.
second flow, we are using this for usages,
Usages. Correct.
right? These are the two different flows we have seen yesterday. Okay, but we have created a contract in both of the flows. Until this part, we have done something. Okay, there is a contract generated, but the contract status of it, what is the status of it? It is technically active. What it is no, right? It is showing
It
as
is
no.
no. No.
When that status will become active, the status becomes active. Only the data that we created, the contract that we created, transferred to CI and CC, then only we see that status as yes. So as long as the status is no, that means the replication, the distribution to CI and CC did not happen. Okay.
Okay.
So how do we make sure that data did not flow to CI and CC? Let's log into where do we have that SOM and CI? They are in the same S4 box, right? CC is an independent system, but CI, SOM, and FICA all are in our S4 HANA box only. So let's log
Okay.
into to see whether a contract is replicated to CI or not. There is a T code called FP_VT3. So uh, let's log into that. Enter our contract and press enter. What it is saying? Provider contract does not exist. That means the
This is
data did not
basically to
flow.
see. Okay.
This is to see whether the contract is replicated to CI or not. This is a T code for
Okay.
CI FPVT3
Fine,
to
sir.
check
Fine.
whether it is replicated or not. So how do we make sure the data is replicated to CC or not? How do we see that? So that is not on the SAP box. So we have to go to it. That's a standalone server we discussed, right? So it's a standalone server. For that, you have to go to a different login. Okay. You see, for SAP, what is the uh, entry point? It's a logon pad, right? To log into your
Yeah.
SAP, we choose SAP
SAP
logon,
GUI login pad.
right? To log into CC, we use something called core tool. Okay, here, oh, they did not create a copy of it. Huh? Okay, let's see. SAP CC. Then you see, this is a dump. Okay, actually, so. Um, if you want to set up a CC, this is set up by, I mean, like, the logon pad, who will do that installation and all for the logon pad and all? It's a basis team that they
Our
do, right?
basis team will do all this.
Similarly, CC also they install. Okay, CC, there is an installation required that is done by our basis team. Once the required configuration, the required installations are done, you see a folder like this. Okay, in this is for CC. Okay, to see all the instances in CC, you go to a bin folder. You see, there is a tool called core tool. Right? Let's click on it. So as soon as you click on it, it opens up a logon. it open up Laga. I'll create a desktop shortcut for this. Let me create a shortcut. Send it to desktop. So this is a portal reference that we are using. Okay, you can navigate to the folder from here. Okay. So here you need to enter your logon information, your login username and password, and the URL. So this is where the server is installed. This will be given to us by basis team. Okay, now we are connecting to this server URL and use the logon pad, the login and password, the username and password given by basis team. So that is stored here on the desktop itself for you, and use this one. Okay, let's use this admin. The password, just use the password. What is the password? Welcome at 19. Okay,
W is capital, I think so.
yeah, I used to say. Okay, it is 189, not 19. It is 189.
Okay.
Let me save this one first. Okay, so it is 189. Now, as soon as you log in, it shows like this. Okay, so this is your core tool. We call it as core tool. Everything that we do inside CC, all the objects that we develop in CC are done through core tool. Okay, now let's go and how do there are few buttons at the top. For now, just remember that go to file to see. We wanted to see, right, whether the contract is duplicated to CC or not. How do we do that? File, open, see provider contract. Click on it. What is our contract number? Let's
It is something 69. Not sure.
let's go and see that. So it is 20819.
9.
Enter. See, there is nothing coming up. That means it doesn't exist. Okay. So generally, if you see any of the contracts, it looks something like this. Okay. The contract in a CC looks like this, but our contract does not exist. Now, why it does not exist? Because it does not exist. That's the reason the status of it is no. How do we distribute this data from SOM to CC and as well as from SOM to CI? How do we do that? There is something called fulfillment status. You see the list of assignment blocks given. At the top, you see there is something called fulfillment status. Click on it. Right now, it is blank. So this fulfillment status, we call it as ODI. Okay, we call it as ODI.
Okay.
ODI steps. These are all called ODI steps. Right now, it is blank. Okay, let's go and see how do we make this contract, how do we distribute this contract and required configurations to distribute this contract. And also, there is something called processes. If you see here at the top, there is something called processes. Do you see anything here? It is also blank. Okay, first let's try to distribute this contract and we'll come to this process again. Okay, for that, let's go into SPRO. So where do we do our ARM related configurations? Under service node, right? Let's go into service. Here, go into transactions, and again go into settings for subscription transactions, right? Here you see document distribution. Inside this document distribution, open it. Two things. Okay, first let's see what is this document distribution scenario. Click on it. So the scenario, this is standard. Okay, do not change. uh, it is standard. So the scenario, there are two scenarios. One is, let's say if you don't have CC, we are not dealing with any usages. You don't need CC, right? And in that case,
Correct.
we only see FICA. That means the contract is replicated to CA. That means once it replicates to CA, the contracts become active. If you select FICA and CC, that means contract should replicate to, we are instructing the system, contract should replicate to FICA, that is CI and CC. Okay, that is a one-time
Okay.
setting to do.
Sir,
Now,
but this will always be FICA and CC only, even though if you're not using usages also, we have to keep it as and CC over here.
not required, right? You can select the other
Uh,
option. FICA is enough.
okay, okay, okay.
Now the second step is we need to configure this fulfillment status, right? How do we do that? We do that using a ODA schema. Okay, let's go and see what is that ODA schema and how do we do that configuration. So let's get into the next step. Define settings for document distribution. Click on it. Here, you see there are step categories: C0, 01, P0, P1, P5, P6. Okay. So for our activation, these are the different categories, standard categories. We are not going to change this. We cannot change this. Remain as is. Now let's go into the step types. SAP has given list of step types. Okay, so out of which depends upon our requirement, we use we will choose what are the required things. Okay, but the mandatory thing is PCEA. Okay, this is one which is mandatory. We need to add, and there are few other things. Always remember this is required. So distribution one of items which is wait for activation, wait for deactivation, and PCED we use sometimes, and one F you see that one F, that is also one of the steps. These are the steps given by SAP. We will make use of it. Okay, now how do we make use of it, and how does our contract knows that which one to use? Okay, you see there are there are a number of ODA steps we have. We can also customize it if needed. We can also customize the ODA steps. This is customizable. But our contract, out of all given ODA steps, we don't need everything, right? So we only need few of the things. So to select only few of the ones which we require, we create a schema. Okay, there is something called
Okay,
a
okay.
schema. We create a schema. In this schema, we select only the required ones which we are going to use. Okay, we don't need all the steps, so I don't want to use all the steps. I'll use only the required steps. Okay, let's copy this one. These are all standard. So copy this one. I'm creating my own schema GS14. In this schema I'll add the required steps. Right now I selected few. I selected only 6 out of all given step types, right?
All these
And
step
also you
types.
can,
Yes.
yes, right? I created my own customized schema, and you can also sequencing it. Okay, if there is no sequence, they execute in parallel. So I'll say that these are all execute. They get executed at the same time, and there is no sequence for it. As long as we have one of item, this won't kick in. So whether how does I have six head. Let's okay. So I selected six. Let's see how many gets displayed on the screen. I selected six, but is it not? It's not done yet. Okay, so I just created a schema, but we should inform. Okay, hey, I mean this is my schema. I selected few steps, and my contract. Okay, my contract should use this schema. If you look at here, how many schemas are there? There are a number of schemas already there, right? And
Yes.
how does my contract know which one to use? So I have to specifically instruct my contract. This is the schema I created. Use it. How do we do that? We do it through schema determination. Okay. Here, what we
Okay.
do? Let's create. What is our transaction type?
ZS14.
That is 1 4, right? Let's create
And contract type is ZC14.
JC 1 4. Okay. So my transaction
That's a subscription contract.
contract. Yes. Right now we are not enabling it on the order. We will enable it. We'll enable the same thing on the order also. Okay, we'll come to that. We do in CI. Okay, we'll revisit again. There is a to and fro. Uh, many times we go to and fro. Okay. Right now we are trying to establish this flow, and after that we'll back and forth. We'll do some configurations. And what is our item category? GC14, I guess. So
Yeah,
this is
GC14, correct.
okay, this is standard class. Let's assign the standard class. And for this combination, I want to assign my schema assignment. For my GC14 and this transaction type and item category, I'm assigning my the schema that I created. Okay, what is the schema?
ZS14.
Is it ZS14? Yeah, ZS14 is my schema.
Yeah,
Right?
ZS14 makes it.
Right, let's save this. And if you select the schema, the steps that we selected will come up. Let's save this one. Go back. I'll make this as we can have multiple schemas. We want to choose which one to use. We can use that also. Okay. Now let's open the schema. So this schema will help us here. Let's say if you want to deactivate, okay, limited number of we have used. We can use the same schema based on the item category and transaction type. We can activate or deactivate. We can do that. Okay, the schema can be assigned to multiple transaction types. If you don't require it transactions at any of the steps, you can inactivate. You can deactivate that also. Let's save this one. So I assign my C14 to my sorry, my schema to the contract type that we created. Okay, now let's go and create one more contract. Let's go home. So how do we navigate to subscription management? Click on subscription navigation subscription order management application. Let's go to subscription order management. Click on it. Manage subscription orders. Create new. Yes, okay. This is my business model and select the product. I hear echo on maybe. Am I joined in the call?
Not able to see.
So I submitted. Okay, this is the contract that was created just now. 820 is the contract we created, and it says technically not active. Okay, so that means what does it mean?
It has still not been sent to CC.
It's not sent to CA and CC. It should
CI and
happen
CC, correct.
replicated to both. Otherwise, everything gets reverted. Okay, either
Okay.
it should replicate to both or none. Now,
Okay.
the fulfillment status, we see is the steps, right? We just added a few steps and they are coming up now, right? Here you see few steps are up, but we added six
We
and
6, yes.
yeah, but only three have come up. Okay, so what happens is if you get your schema definition and go to the step types, so these are the steps. Let's go to the step types. Okay, so every step
Yes.
type, okay, against every step type, there is a class assigned. Okay, this class in these classes, there are methods and there are certain validations. Okay, so if the validations are satisfied, then only you see the steps here. Otherwise, if the steps are not relevant, it won't show. That means only out of six, I added six because I wanted to tell you that, there is, I mean, if it is relevant, then only it shows up. If it is not relevant, it won't show. How the relevancy is checked is in the CSF. So inside the class, there are methods. That method will take care whether it will check whether it is relevant for or not. We go to AC24. We look at right execute distribution. Okay. So
Uh-huh.
in this, they will check okay whether it is relevant for or not. Okay. So get one of it if it is not, if it is initial or not. So they will check whether it is relevant for or not. If it is not relevant, then if it is not relevant, it won't show up. If it is relevant, it will show.
Sir, this relevance is based on what parameters, sir? Basically.
Yeah, on the contract, if you debug this one, it will say get one of items to order distribution, right? Inside, if one of one of items relevant for an individual contract shall be distributed to C. If you go inside, it will take you. I mean, if you need to debug, okay, so it will tell. Right now, this is not one off, right? Is it one off? This is
One
not
of
one
is
off.
not
It
distribute one of
says
items is there.
yeah, it is there, but it says what it is saying
Irrelevant.
relevant. Okay, if you are not even, I mean, if you are not even relevant to this, wait for activation. You see, wait for activation, that step which is not required. I mean, this contract activation will make sure that the contract gets replicated. Okay, few of the steps it won't even bring it up, but we can see always. We can go and see inside it. You can debug during the distribution. You can put a breakpoint and see why it is not showing up. That you can do every
Oh,
time. Even your
okay.
technical, they can validate which one is. They can customize and they can validate also relevant or not. Always
Okay.
make sure this is the class that gets executed every time. That's the reason there is this class is assigned against the step, each step.
Okay. So whenever we want a particular fulfillment status to be required, then we'll have to get a technical team to ensure that it becomes active in the class level.
Yes, yes, yeah,
Okay.
that you need to
Okay.
make sure.
Okay.
Now, there is still the steps are determined, but the contract is still not active. Okay, so if you see, this is as I mentioned, right? The step which is mandatory, it says what it is saying. It is saying fail. Okay, what is the step is what is the step type of it? Let's go and add the step type. Sorry, let's go back. Uh, add the step type. Heading, let me add this one. PCA. This step it says it failed. Okay, why it is failed and how to correct this one. Why see why it is failed and what was the reason and all. We should go to monitor. The monitor is the distribution monitor at the top in this assignment block. Click on it. It's inside of it. Go to fulfillment state steps are your steps that are determined and go to messages. Okay, in the messages, look for the error messages. Okay, these are all information messages. There is an error message, right? Two error messages are there. That's the reason it didn't. Okay, what is that error message? One is error occurred, no error contact. Okay, reconciliation not possible for posting area 500. Okay, what is this account determination? Let's go and see. Okay, so for this, let's go into the configuration again. I deliberately did not do that configuration because I wanted to show that so you'll be able to understand. Okay, go to financial
Right, sir.
accounting, contract accounts, receipts and bills, functions, provider contract, uh, default specifications for derivation of standard account asset. Okay, click on it. The posting area 500, right? This is what we are getting, right? Posting area
Yes.
500, account determination is not possible. So what is this configuration? Let's see. Here, the sales are distribution channel and division for which we need to assign a company code. So that is not done. What is company? What is our sales arc?
Yes. ZS 14, 14, 14, and ZC 14. Oh, no,
Sales arc
CD
is
14.
SO, sales
Ah,
arc.
sorry, SO 14, SO 14. Correct, correct.
So 14 and distribution channel is
14,
14.
14, 14.
Division is also 14. Let's click on it. And what is our company code? CD14. Right? CD14 is our
CD
company
14.
code. Let's save this one. Now let's go back and create one more contract. Let's see whether it gets replicated or not. Create a new contract. GS14 is our order type. Yeah, I hear a echo. If anybody is on speaker, okay, let's go and add the product 500. Let's submit this one. Contract number 82. Okay, let's enter this one. So 821 is the contract number that was created. And let's go and look at the status. Now, what is the status of it?
Oh, it says yes.
It's technically active, yes, right? Let's go and
Yes.
see. Let's go and check the fulfillment status now. Okay, the step is
It is
executed. Now it is green.
yes.
That's the distribution is successful. Now let's go and
Yes.
see this contract now. How do we see the contract in CI FPVT3? Enter the contract number. See, a contract is replicated to CI. Right? You see the contract now. And if you
Yes.
see the data, the contract account, it's our dates, the item number one, and what is our sold to party, right? And also, when you go to account assignment, you can see the sales of data, the company code data, the product that we have used. Everything is there. And let's go and validate the sim. If that technically active means what, it should also be replicated to CC also, right? Let's go and see it
CC
in.
also. Yes.
Go to core tool, file open, and go to provider contract. Search for the contract. See, it's replicated. 81 is replicated, right? This is our BP. So at the moment, it is just only few. I mean, if you look at right, this is our CC screen. Okay. So this is our CC screen. Okay, how much amount of data that is replicated to CC? Only few. I mean, if you look at here, how much data is replicated to CC?
Hardly anything actually. The
Hardly
product
anything.
has come. Product has
Huh.
come. That's it.
Only the BP has come, right?
BP has come. BP has come. Correct.
Nothing replicated to CC. But if you look at the CI, right? As in CI, almost everything got replicated. So that means in SAP we have all the data in handy. We have the data in hand. So we don't need to. I mean, let's say if you need something, okay, if you're doing some logical operations on top of this contract, okay. So if you want to do the same thing in CEC, you have to pass lot of data. Some or the other way, you need to pass lot of data to CC. But in CI, do we need any data passing? It's not. It's already there in SAP, right? We don't need. That's the
Yes.
reason. Even though the CC supports, or we'll go to our scenario. Even though CC supports one time and recurring, CC supports one time and recurring also. Okay. We don't.
Okay.
I mean, it's not advisable because we need to pass lot of data if you want to make sure these charges work. But we
Okay.
have data already available in CI. It's better we
Yes.
use a concept called billing plan. Okay, instead of passing data to CC and do everything there, use the billing plan directly, which we have already all the data available in CI. That's the reason only for usages we'll go to CC. Okay.
Yes. Understood.
Now, uh, okay. Let's go to our contract and look at few other sections. Okay. Here now,
So, Karthik, so just one question. The CC is always your means on-premise application. Means, let's say if we are in a on cloud, for HANA, right? Then how do we access the CC? Or it has to be always on a premise system.
This is on-prem solution only. Cloud, there is a separate. Actually, SAP is building it. It's not completely mature, but there is something called subscription billing on the cloud version of it.
Okay.
Okay, so but Brim is on-prem solution.
Okay. And the second question was, you mentioned there are a lot of steps, right? And for identify what step does what, we have to debug that, right?
Ah,
Would it be safe, like, since there are a lot of steps and we don't know which is relevant to it? So whenever we create the contract, we add all the steps to that schema and associate that schema to our sales area, and
so why do you
automatically
do
means
that?
it does.
It's just button in the system, right? You don't need everything every time, right?
But we means when we know, we doesn't
Yeah,
know what it
yeah.
does.
So for that only you need a technical help, as well as you need to understand what are the different things. I mean, there are different steps for different processes. Okay. If you look at, right, how many steps are there in that? Let's go to service. You go to service, document distribution. So there is something called contract lock or unlock. If you want to use this, you can use. When if you want to implement lock or unlock, okay, there is something early distribution. If you want to before activation of the, I mean, let's say your contract is starting from 1st of June, but you want to activate the contract now itself. Okay, so it depends on your scenario. Not, it's not necessary that you use every time everything, right? So you don't want to use all the first thing is let's activate that. Okay, then based on the customer request, we'll keep on adding the required steps if necessary. Also, we can build our own steps also using the standard classes given by SAP. Clear?
Uh, yes. Sir, one more thing. Whenever we want to make a amendment in the class, should we always is it advisable to create our own Z class and then do it?
No, no. Use the standard one. If it doesn't suffice, go for a customization.
Okay, fine, sir.
1 second. 5 minutes, guys. Be online.
Okay. Hello? Again do it. Give them again. Many people to consult.
Yeah. Okay, now let's go into the contract. So on the contract, let's look at the processes. Okay, it was blank earlier, right? Now let's see. There are two processes that got executed. Let's see, there are two processes that have come up, right? One is on and log, one is order and indicate. Okay, so what is this again? So we have seen ODI distribution. The distribution is done. Now we are moving into a change process. Okay. So what is this change process and why do we need it? Okay, so let's say you have you did you have created a contract. Okay? Let's assume that okay, we created this contract for one quantity. Okay, and by mistake you entered one quantity and you want to change the quantity of it. So everything, okay, everything that you do, there is no edit button. If you look at the contract, we cannot edit a contract directly. Okay, there is no way. There is no way you can edit a contract directly. Everything, if you want to edit any of the information on the contract, it should be always through a change process. Okay, so to make any, you guys are able to hear me, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, able to hear you, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
So now, if you want to change any of the contract data, okay, that is always it should be through a change process. Okay, but how do we see change process and what are the different change processes given by SAP? Let's see. Okay, now for that, let's go into SPRO again. So again in the transactions, let's click on go to service. All configurations will be under service now. Let's go to service transactions. You see there is something called contract changes, right? In the settings for subscription transactions, contract changes are there. Okay, click on it. Click on execute settings for maintenance framework. This is BTMF. Remember that. So here SAP has given list of change processes. Okay, so if you look at right, if you want to cancel a contract, that is through a change process. If you want to change price, if you want to change the cross catalog mapping of it, okay, if you want to change quantity, if you want to change source, if you want to change technical resource, if you want to renew, if you want to do any configuration change, if you want to create a repair, there are a lot of change processes. I mean, these are all sufficient enough if you want to change the contract account. Okay, so SAP has given a lot of change processes if you want to reject, if you want a product change, if you want a new change order, lock or unlock, everything was given by SAP. Okay, so we'll make use of these change processes and we'll use to change the contract data. Okay, now let's go. These are all the different process if you want to see. Now let's go into activate change process and here cancel option, everything is active, but still it is not showing. Why it is not showing? Let's go. I think this is controlled. So now let's say I want to add cancel. Do we have a cancel here? Cancel is not there, right? Let's go and add cancel. Cancel to our transaction types. So what is my transaction type?
Transaction type ZS14, right?
GC14, right? GC14 is my transaction type.
Contract type. Contract type, that is.
Yeah. and my this is a change, okay. And if you want to, what is my target? Source is GC14 and change will be GS14. What is a GS14? It's an order, right? Again, target is
Yes.
GC. Let's say this one. Go to one more thing changed here. And what else is there? Uh, what are the things that are showing on the screen? Lock unlock. Let's go and see the lock unlock. Lock unlock. Uh, okay, so my this contract lock unlock by default it is. Now let's go and see. Let's refresh this one. 0821. Let's see what are the orders created today. Let's see what orders created today. Let's go to the latest one. Go to the contract 2081. Go to processes. Lock unlock. Let me go and create one more. Why this error is coming up all the time? Create a new one. GS14. We'll submit this one. Go to processes and the two are showing up. Okay. Now let's execute lock and so okay. It's because of this error. I need to get rid of this error. But this is a standard error. Somebody messed up the pricing layer. That's the reason it is coming up. But we should see a list of change processes. Okay, we should see that. Somehow it is not. It's not showing up. Let me unlock. Zero 0822. So if you want to search contact, you can directly search contact also. Go back. So far we are dealing with only orders, right? We have dealt with orders. Now let's go and see subscription order management. To manage subscription contracts. So what is our contract number? 20822.
Eight to
Search. See, it took us to the contract screen directly. Still it is not coming up. Let me see. So this is where you do the configurations. Let me see what happened. Change process to change process, which is one define process test. Delete. Somebody playing with it. Okay, let me copy this product change or GS14. GS14. We'll see why we are maintaining these entries. We'll come to know when we look at the example. Okay, I'm trying to set up an example. So 20 only lock or unlock this is the why only lock or unlock this is the we go to lock or unlock define transaction types. Okay, looks like somebody messed it up. Correct this one. Let me correct this one. We'll see in the next class. Okay,
Okay. So
right? Somebody seems like somebody is playing with it.
the thing is, I also asked for a server access. I am not sure how much, what all will come as a mess in that.
Yeah, it's a training system, right? See, everybody has
Yeah.
control. Okay,
At least
lock
you
up.
are able to fix the changes. I will not even be able to do any of these things.
Yeah, so this is lock for contract. I don't want to use any lock. People are implementing and they are just exploring the things. You cannot say anyone to anyone. Okay, but the only expectation is don't mess up the standard configurations at least. Okay, so if something is messed up, right, in the standard, it's very difficult to find out what happened and why it went wrong. Standard things at
Uh,
least. Custom things we can do anything. Okay, but not the standard things. Okay, we'll see that in the next class. Okay, I'll see. I need to look at the system once. So we'll start with the change process from the next class. Hopefully, I mean it will be there on. If I can schedule a call on Wednesday, I'll ping you guys.
no problem,
Morning,
sir.
I send a note. Is that enough? Say if you want to have a class tomorrow by afternoon my time, I'll send a note. Okay, if you are okay, we'll connect. Otherwise,
Okay.
regular the session will connect. In between, if possible,
Okay.
I'll mail. Based on your response, I'll start the class.
Okay.
This conference will now be recorded.